Hello there, this is Rex Nebula. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about all things VTuber, and today we will be talking about Ironmouse. Recently, Ironmouse went on to a live stream where she talked about how she desperately wanted to talk more about drama, but she couldn't because even though she had talent freedoms at VShojo, she didn't want to tarnish the reputation or the image of the company, so she was holding back. Ironmouse said she wanted to talk about drama because she felt that when she hears things in the VTuber agency or the VTuber industry in general, she feels that there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff that she clearly knows about, but she couldn't say anything, and that frustrated her. So this is what she had to say regarding drama.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna get into drama VTubing, no, drama talking, report the drama news. Drama. I'm gonna report the VTuber drama news, the VTuber news. Mouse, yeah, I'm gonna start mouse alert. Guys, I'm not gonna do any VTuber news casting. Sometimes I kind of wish that I could talk about like stuff that's going on. So I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I wish I could talk about like the happenings going on in the VTuber world because I feel like it's fascinating or it's like interesting or it's good to talk about things. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, I just have to remind everybody I am a part of a company and I cannot do that without any scrutiny coming to my company. So I can't do it. Had I been completely indie by myself, I probably maybe might have discussed things, but unfortunately I cannot. I cannot weigh in on things because, you know, it's not... I'm extremely aware that whenever I say something, it not only reflects upon VShojo, but also like my other members, and then it's like, it's a lot, you know? Sometimes there are moments where I see things, and I'm just like, bro, I just wish that I could just say something so bad. I just want to speak up so bad and say shit. I want to say stuff. I have so many opinions, and things that I know that people just don't know. Like, it's crazy. Case in point, this weekend, I don't know if you guys saw, VShojo was trending. The amount of ridiculous, dumb comments that I read on Twitter about VShojo. I literally, like, my brain was melting at the insanely dumb comments that I've read. Some of the worst takes I've ever seen in my life. Things that people claim is fact and think that they know. But it's like, honey, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know. Don't read them. It's very easy for you to say not to read them. I love Fruit, and I think she's great.
As you can see, Ironmouse really wants to talk about drama, but she can't because she doesn't want to drag her company to mud, doesn't want to tarnish her company's reputation by engaging in drama. This is something Nijisanji can actually learn from. Now we move on to Rosemi Lovelock. Now Rosemi is a Nijisanji VTuber. He hasn't been streaming for a while and people were worried that Nijisanji had suspended her or maybe she was going to leave the company because Rosemi was one of the 3 VTubers that made up Obsidian. What I'm saying is Rosemi was Selen Tatsuki's. He was in Selen's VTuber generation, so a lot of people were worried about her. But now that same Rosemi has showed herself. Rosemi put out the tweet saying, "Let's play some GeoGuessr, my silly little comfort game with my silly little country Oshis." You can see she is getting a lot of love by her fans right here in fan art. Rosemi would also announce her full return to live streaming by putting out her weekly schedule, where she's planning to play Yu-Gi-Oh! As well as Tekken. And now we move on to Sea-Dog VA, because why would we talk about Ironmouse without talking about her pet monkey? Pecora isn't the only one who has a pet monkey, you know? So what has Connor done now? Well, Connor hasn't done a thing, actually. I am sure many of you remember that at the height of the Selen Tatsuki termination controversy, Connor expressed his desire to talk about some drama. Unfortunately, he couldn't talk about the drama because he was living in Japan and he was afraid that a certain company would sue him. Connor would go on to explain that Japan had very strict defamation laws, and he would provide an example where a dentist was able to sue one of his patients because the patient put up a review, an accurate review mind you, about how the dentist had done a horrible job fixing his teeth, but the dentist was still able to sue anyway. The fear here is that Connor might be sued because he's talking about a Japanese company in Japan. Even if what Connor talks about is true, if he says anything bad about the company, he could be sued. And Connor just said he didn't feel safe discussing drama about Japanese companies when he was in a Japanese country. Honestly, that didn't stop Joey from talking about the Russia Mafu drama. He's still fine. He hasn't been sued by anyone, not even by Voice Ore, which is like Mike Neko's VTuber agency. So he's fine. Connor went on stream, and this time he tried talking about the drama without talking about the drama by generalizing and talking about how Japanese talent companies were insane. And this is what Connor had to say.
Talent, agencies and all this stuff, there should be a level of professionalism that we expect. I think you as a billion-dollar company or even a multi-million-dollar company should just be professional, be quiet, and don't go chirping. It's wild to me. This is an example where we saw it backfire, right? Like the recent stuff, I had talked about it in the past and people didn't agree with my opinion. That I thought that being overly transparent sometimes is a weapon that can be used to get by companies to fuck over smaller talent. And we often see it done. And this is a case where we saw it backfire. This is where like a company tried to use transparency to their advantage to get the, to save their own reputation. And it backfired. It's very well known that in Japan, that talent agencies are pretty insane. The cuts are crazy. For a very long time, for example, I'm not going to name names again because I don't want to get in trouble, but there plays this Japanese like MCM kind of thing, MCM agency, that at one point was taking like 90%. And that's normal in Japan, like to take like 90% to 80%, 70% of the whatever the talent brings in. It's very not unheard of. I'm too vague. I have to be. That we have in the Western content creator sphere is that we're often very open to talking about how we do business and how it works. And that allows us to make sure none of us are getting fucked over. I'd say if an agency comes to you and wants to take more than 20%, they'd have to be offering an insane kind of deal. It'd have to be crazy for you to take it. 20% is such a huge stake. You want to work with us and get more than 10%. So like it's, if anyone ever comes to you and is like 50-50, it's like, no, okay. 50-50. And then we also own everything. It's like, okay, what? That's insane. Trash Taste is, we own Trash Taste entirely. It's owned by me, Gant, and Jay. We are very fortunate to be with Geeks Plus, who are fucking awesome. I'm so, geeks, not to like.
As you can see, Connor doesn't really have a high opinion of these Japanese talent agencies, and he urges content creators not to sign any predatory contracts with these agencies. Moving on, we talk about Yuko Yurei now. Yuko Yurei is from a VTuber agency called the Idol Corp. This is the same agency as Riro Ron, the VTuber who slept with her manager and tried to get her fans to meet her in real life, and she wanted money in exchange for sexual favors. There were drug abuse allegations as well, according to the agency. This is also the same agency that Connor has said before that he doesn't like, because they were essentially throwing their talents under the bus, and Riro Ron couldn't respond to the notice because of NDAs. Well, now we return to the same agency. And this is Yuko Yurei. This is one of the VTubers at Idol Corp. Now, Yuko is interesting because she put out an entire statement, basically a video, saying that it would take a while before she starts streaming again because there were some things she wanted to take care of. Yuko would come back and she would have an announcement live stream, which you can see right here, that just says announcement. Initially, a lot of Yuko fans were wondering if Yuko was planning to graduate. And that turned out to be untrue because in the live stream, the announcement was about something else. You see, Yuko used to do a lot of NFSW membership streams where she acted like a Loli. She provided the girlfriend experience to many of her fans. That same Yuko has made the announcement that she will no longer do those types of NFSW membership streams. This was obviously upsetting to many of the fans who loved those membership streams, and the way she basically just privated a lot of those membership streams immediately after the announcement felt like a slap on the face for many fans. Honestly, I personally felt that in the short term, while this might negatively impact Yuko financially, in the long term, as more and more people come to know and love what Yuko stands for, the type of content she provides, people will start slowly giving her money for the type of content she chooses to put out. Yuko would go onto Twitter to thank her fans for their continued support after she made this new change. Yuko would say, "Holy, thank you all for your continued support, and I'm so excited to start this new chapter of content creation. I was a little nervous at first, but it made me so happy to see the response about my change in direction. Here's to more fun and entertaining content for the future. As for the Donodon goals, I will continue working towards them in member streams and talk about all of it more from there." Yuko would receive a lot of positive comments from her supporters. Azehara would say, "Keep doing whatever makes you feel happy and whatever motivates you. I would assume that some people will bitch and moan, but the majority of people that support you will stick around. Good shit, little ghost girl. And always remember to take breaks when you start getting burnt out." Narimo Navi would say, "Welcome back, Yuko. If you're happy, the people who matter will be happy as well. Really glad to see you back and making content that makes you happy and fulfilled. You deserve it." Welcome back, Yuko. I'm really excited for what the future brings. Good to see you back. You gotta do what's right for you. Keep slaying, girl boss. Welcome back, Yuko. I'm so glad. Let's go. A relatively popular VTuber, Girl DM, would say, "Welcome back." Yuko's fellow co-worker at Idol Ian would say, "Welcome back, senpai." We move on to Nanashi Mume. Now this is a friend of Doki Bird's. This whole live VTuber is suffering from success. Not too long ago, Mume held a live stream where he opened commissions to a lot of her fans. Mume promised to draw her fans' profile pictures. Mume would say, "I'll redraw your YouTube profile picture if you send one pink super chat. One red super chat means some bonus color. If your profile picture has copyrighted content, something inappropriate or something I'm not comfortable drawing, I'll turn it into something else. Super chats will be open for a short time only during the stream. I'll do a countdown before they open. I'm only doing one profile picture per person. I may need to work on these over multiple streams, so be aware yours may not be done today. The funds will go towards increasing the budgets for some neat stuff this year." Not too long after Mume opened her commissions, a lot of fans gave her a lot of money so they could have their profile pictures drawn by Mume. Mume managed to collect 4 million yen, equivalent to roughly $27,000 within a single live stream. And now Mume is suffering from success. As you can see in the thumbnail, Mume is actively drawing her fans' profile pictures. Now, before we end the video, let's talk about something from Katie Cat. Katie Cat would put out a very long tweet supporting some of her friends. Katie would say, "I know I put a long thing out earlier, but I'm going to say this because it seems a few handfuls of people need to hear this. If you can't say anything nice to anyone, don't say anything. Instead of bringing down people you don't like, support the people you do. And if you are holding someone to something they did half a decade ago, have you ever thought about who you were that long ago? My mom, when I was 12, sent me to conversion therapy when I tried to come out. At 18, he was my best friend and the most supportive person ever. In 2018, I was recovering from my alcoholism. I was a drug abuser going through clean and a self-destructive suicidal wreck trying to sort their shit out. 6 years later, I'm me now." Also, maybe you don't know the whole side of the story that gets stirred about people. So who do you think you are on your high horse when you're not involved? Learn empathy and understanding or fuck off, because I don't want anyone like you anywhere near my community the way you currently are. Ibidoki would respond by saying, "You're such a wonderful person, Cat." Daya Riku would say, "You're one of the sweetest people I have ever met. These trolls are so not worth your time. Let them mold and watch you succeed as an awesome person and a creator. They wish they could achieve a crumb of what you have." And that is the end of the video. Thank you for coming. This is Rex Nebula signing out. And if you don't mind, give me a subscribe so you can see more videos like this one.